Good afternoon and welcome to a new term. Despite the fact that the college still seems to be half empty, we've got a short live lunch break here for you now. And the first item is Pete Maltbeck, who's president of the Royal College of Science, of course, and he's going to tell us how RCS managed to relieve a leopard mascot from QMCU quite recently, didn't they?
Well, what happened was, just before the end of last term, some of the undercover boys in RCS Union, after some preliminary research into Queen Mary College's mascot, went there on a fairly early morning raid, and they didn't have too much trouble. There was about 10 of them in lifting it and getting it into the van and away.
Where did QMC keep it?
I believe they kept it on the first floor of their union building on a sort of big plinth, which was alarm triggered, so that when the mascot was moved it set off a series of alarms.
It was in a glass case, was it? I heard a rumour.
Yeah, it's
very difficult to tell.
It's in a sort of it's a bit difficult to describe. It's like a big glass cage with certain wood panelling on certain parts of it.
And of course, then you brought it to IC and held it in one of the halls.
Well, no, it was put in the RCS Union office on the tables during the morning of the raid for about a couple of hours. Stoic did a quick shot.
Yes, somebody woke me at 8:30 in the morning.
That's right. They woke me up too.
And of course, then you removed it from the RCS Union office to an unknown destination.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
And in fact, of course, we've got some film of that, which we've got right here. Them RCS removing the mascot from the Union office.
Today is Thursday, right. At about 7:45 this morning, a few people went to QMC to get their mascot. Their mascot is a bloody great big leopard. It's about 6 foot long and weighs probably about 400 pounds. Yeah, weighs quite a lot. And it was in a glass case. Well, part of it was glass, part of it was wood. We had to go through the glass to get it out. It was all burglar alarmed up. The alarms went off and we took it out. The actual job took less than a minute to get it out of college. And that's about it. That's all we're saying for the moment.
Were you worried about the police at all?
No, not at all really. The QMC won't contact the police with regards to the raid. They're almost certain not to, and if the police were involved, they'd probably ignore it as a mascotry raid.
I mean, these things are sort of fairly well established.
Yeah, as long as there's
right?
not too much damage or too much physical violence or anything, the police would just leave it alone.
Perhaps you better explain a bit about mascotry as a whole. I mean, because IC has a long history of mascot raids. Last year, of course, RCS raided Spanner from Guilds and had a long series of competitions. Can you explain basically, when you steal a mascot, how did the college get it back?
Well, generally there's some sort of penalties involved for retrieving the mascot. There's pints of blood was a good one. They had to donate blood to a blood bank, but that's getting a bit out of date. Yeah, and other things are donate money to our RAG. Generally,
some form of penalty.
Some form of penalty.
Or other.
It usually means charity works out better off for it.
Do you know when the alarms went off? I mean, did they expect to have alarms?
Yeah, there was expected to be some sort of alarms. They went off. They weren't very effective alarms. I hear they stopped after only about 20 seconds.
And nobody came rushing?
And there were no students in the building at all, hardly.
Sounds
and
rough.
Security guard had conveniently opened the gate.
When are you going to decide how they must get it back?
This weekend.
The security guard opened the gate?
Yeah.
That was rather obliging.
Very nice, yeah.
Yes.